Hey everybody, welcome back to homerecordingmadeeasy.com and here on my YouTube channel. And today, yes, we're sitting behind some drums. This is the first video we're going to do in a series of videos over the next several weeks, maybe even several months, where we're going to do some drum recording techniques with different microphones, microphone placement, blah, 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 blah. That's what we're going to do today. Today, we're going to take a look at the Slate Digital ML-1 large diaphragm condenser microphone. Going to record drums with one single microphone, and then afterwards, we're going to bring it into Studio One and play with all the different mic models that come with the Slate Digital package. So before we get started, make sure you like, share, subscribe. And by the way, you know, YouTube analytics is telling me that 70% of you that watch my videos on this channel are not subscribed, which is crazy. Please do me a favor, hit that subscribe button if this channel helps you out in any way, and if you find my videos and this channel valuable to you. So thank you so much in advance. Also, go out to homerecordingmadeeasy.com and get your free mixing course. It's right on the homepage. It's $100, it's free. It's my gift to you just for visiting homerecordingmadeeasy.com. And if you stick around till the end of this video, I'm gonna give you something else for free. So here we are in my studio. Let's talk about drum recording. A couple of tips I'm going to give you if you're someone new to drum recording, and especially recording with one microphone. Now, all these videos over the next several weeks are going to be leading up to a much more extensive drum recording course at homerecordingmadeeasy.com called Recording Drums Made Easy, where we're going to have 6 or 7 hours worth of different mic techniques, all different types of things, experimenting with different types of drum heads, different microphones, how to record acoustic drums in your home studio and get pro level results. That's what we're going to do. All these videos are going to kind of lead up to that. So make sure you stay tuned to homerecordingmadeeasy.com and Recording Drums Made Easy. But the whole idea here is to show you that you can get a really, really great drum sound that sounds professional without having to be in a professional recording studio that's purpose built for drums with big tall ceilings, so on and so forth. The drum room that I'm in right now is about 12 and a half, maybe 14 feet wide by about, I don't know, 12 feet long here. So it's almost like a perfect square. There's a little bit of a jog here, but it's, for all intent and purposes, it's about 12 by 12. We have 8-foot ceilings, or a little over 8-foot ceilings, okay? We have a concrete floor with carpeting on the floor, and that's it. We have acoustic treatment around the room, some bass traps and high frequency reflection panels, as well as some gobos I put here on the side, and that's it. So it's pretty typical to what a spare bedroom or a basement, semi-finished basement, or even a garage that you have with some treatment in it is like. So the environment is going to be very similar. It's not a purpose-built room for recording drums. So that's the space. Now let's talk a little bit about the microphone itself. So we're talking about the Slate Digital ML-1 large diaphragm condenser microphone, which is a modeling microphone where you can then bring all their mic models in, and you can change up the different sounds and all that stuff. We're going to experiment with all of that stuff later in this video. So that's what we're doing. This microphone is sitting about 4 feet away from the drum kit, about 4 to 4.5 feet in the air, pointed directly at the center of the kick drum, okay? That's all we're gonna do, is record with that one microphone. That microphone is going directly into our PreSonus Studio Live 32SX mixer here, coming in on one channel, and then my voice is coming in on the other channel, and then we're gonna have a backing track that I'm gonna play to a little bit later, which is going through the Studio Live as well. The drum kit that we have today, and again, by the way, this is not a sponsored video. Everything in this thing that you see here, everything I paid for, okay? Microphone, drum kit, everything, cymbals, the whole thing. So the drum kit, this is all from Sweetwater, by the way. All the links will be in the description box below. We're using a Gretsch Catalina 4-piece shell pack. Not a very expensive drum kit, by the way. Brand new, about $900, shipped to my door at Sweetwater. Gretsch makes fantastic drum sets at this price point. This is no different. We have a 14 by 6-inch snare. We have a 12 by 13 rack tom, a 16 by 16 floor tom, and a 22-inch kick drum. All the heads I changed out to Remo Ambassador coated heads, and on the kick drum we're using the Evans EMAD system with the dampening ring. Inside of the kick drum we have the Evans kick drum EQ, I think it's called the EQ kick drum pillow. It's kind of a weighted dampening pillow that's just sitting in the middle of the kick drum. Again, I'll link it all below. And then here for our metal here, we're using all Sabian cymbals, primarily the AAX series. I've had these cymbals for years. We have a 16-inch dark crash. We have an 18-inch rock crash. We have a 20-inch ride cymbal, and then we have the 14-inch Sabian hi-hats. So it's a pretty small kit, all being recorded with the Slate ML-1. Now, when you talk about recording drums, there are 4 things that I think are super important to getting a really good drum recording. There's probably more than these 4, but if you follow these 4 and you're someone that's not used to recording drums, or you're just getting into recording drums, whether you're a drummer or you're a guitar player recording another drummer, here's 4 things you really wanna pay attention to. This will get you going on the good foot, okay? Number 1, obviously, especially with one microphone, is mic placement. Now, I told you where this microphone is placed. Depending on the microphone, depending on your room, depending on your drum kit, you want to experiment with that. This is, again, 4.5 feet high, 4 feet away, pointed directly down the center of the drum kit. You can experiment by moving it in, moving it further away, moving it higher, moving it lower. That's all going to change the way this thing gets picked up. But that's a good starting point with a large diaphragm condenser mic, is about 4 feet away, about 4 to 5 feet in the air, pointed at the drum kit. You're in pretty good shape to get started, but you need to experiment. So mic placement is key. So I highly recommend that you place a mic, have you or your drummer play, a groove for 15, 20 seconds, go listen, and then tweak the microphone to get the sound that you're looking for. Because remember, and we're gonna see this later, once it's recorded, even with an EQ and a compressor, because it's only one microphone, we're gonna be limited to what we can do and change. When we get into multiple mics down the road, we have a little bit more flexibility. So mic placement is key. Spend your time getting good mic placement. The second thing that's super important, whether you're using one microphone or 40 microphones, is the condition of the drum heads themselves. I can't tell you how many times in my old tracking days when I first started working as an engineer, I've recorded hundreds of drummers. And I can't tell you how many times bands would come in, the drummer had heads on his drums that looks like they were through, World War II. Beat up, holes in them, duct tape all over them, beat to hell, they sound dead, they sound flat, horrible to record with. So you want drum heads that are either new or fairly new, and it doesn't matter what brand, whatever you prefer is fine. Again, I'm using Remo Emperor and coated heads, but you can use Evans, you can use whatever. You could even use the stock heads on your kit if you really want to. However, the condition of the head is huge. The next thing that is really big about it, that a lot of drummers I've worked with in the past don't get this right. They don't know how to tune their own drum kit. Drums that are in tune with new heads are going to sound better than drums that are out of tune with old heads, right? Makes sense? Think of it like a guitar player. A guitar player comes into the studio, he puts a fresh set of strings on his guitar, and he tunes the guitar. The drums are no different. Now, tuning drums, you can tune them by ear. There's many videos online that show you how to tune drums. I can tune by ear. I've been doing it for quite a while. Most drummers that I know can tune by ear. There's a lot of drummers I know that aren't very good at tuning drums. If you're one of those people that are unsure how to tune drums, get yourself a drum tuner, like a drum dial. Or what I use is the TuneBot Studio. Again, I'll link it below. I think it's like $110. Best drum tuner I've ever used, makes the drums sound great and really consistent. You can save presets inside the tuner and all of that stuff. It's a fantastic, fantastic way to tune your drums, especially if you're not experienced or familiar with how to tune your drums. The TuneBot Studio might be something you want to invest in. Not might, it's something you want to invest in, or something similar to it. And then last but not least, especially when you're recording with one microphone, most importantly, but this also applies to several microphones, is regulate the way you play the drums. Again, used to work with a lot of amateur bands, weekend warriors, weekend, cover bands and those kinds of things back in the day. And drummers would come in, they set up their drums, and the way they would record, they would play, their style of play would be very similar to when they were playing out at a gig. They're thrashing and bashing and crashing on cymbals and going crazy. And it's horribly difficult to record drums when you have a player that plays that way. Most experienced session drummers and know how to record, even though it may look like they're going to town on the drums, they're very aware of how they're hitting the drums, how hard they're hitting the drums, how hard are they hitting the cymbals. With multiple microphones on the drum kit, you have a little more leeway in this, but when you're only recording with one microphone, if you're really aggressive on your cymbals and your hats, those are going to overtake the mix and it's going to overtake that microphone. You have to get a balance when you're recording with one mic. So being a little bit less aggressive on the cymbals, being aware of the way you hit the cymbals, being aware of which drums, and if you do your mic placement test, as I said earlier, which drums are going to be a little bit more difficult to hear. In this particular case, it'll be the floor tom. So if you're playing floor tom or you're coming to the floor tom during your recording, be a little bit more aggressive on the floor tom. Be a little bit more aggressive on the rack tom so those can be heard. Be a little bit more gentle on the metal up here, okay? That is huge. The playing style of the drummer has a huge impact on the way that that one microphone is going to pick up the balance of the kit, okay? So if you follow those 4 tips, right? Mic placement, new drum heads, drum tuning, and playing style, you're going to have a drum sound and recording that is going to be very, very usable, and you'll be quite surprised what you can do with one microphone, okay? So before we get in here and we start playing, I'm going to do 2 sets of playing examples. One with no backing track where I'm just going to play, kind of tap the drums, go around, play a little bit of a groove so you can kind of hear the Slate microphone on its own. Now remember, there'll be no EQ, no compression, no processing at all with this microphone. We're not even using any of the mic models. We're going to do that as a separate part of the video where we experiment with the mic model. So it's just going to be flat, transparent, right into the studio live with no processing at all. Then I'm going to play to a backing track because I want you to hear this in the context of the mix. And the backing track I'm going to use is by my good friend's band called Laini The Wildfire. Now we have featured Laini The Wildfire on several videos at Mixing Music Analog, the YouTube channel. Click the link in the description box below. All of Laini The Wildfire's social links will be below. Go check them out. They're an awesome Americana band with a female vocal, fantastic. The drummer's name is Rob, and I asked the band, hey guys, for this demonstration, do you mind if I strip out your drums and I play along to your song, which the name of the song is Dime? I promise not to butcher it too badly, but I want to use it for demonstration. They were really cool, and they said, hey man, no problem. Do whatever you want with our track. It's totally cool. A lot of bands don't do that, and these guys were really gracious to allow me to do that, and the drummer was really gracious to say, yeah, take my performance out. Don't worry about it. Go ahead, Uncle Dave. Go to town. So, Uncle Dave, towards the end of this video here, is gonna butcher Laini The Wildfire's Dime, but I'm gonna give you a little demonstration and keep the drum parts really simple, just so you can hear how the drum recording and how the Slate ML-1 kind of picks up. So thank you to Laini The Wildfire, and especially thank you to Rob. I hope I don't butcher your performance too much, and maybe at one point I could get Rob in here because he's local to my studio, or maybe I could get him in here, get him on camera, and he could do some drum demonstrating for me in future videos. So go show them some love, Laini The Wildfire. So now, let's stop blabbing, right? Now that I gave you the setup and you know the whole thing, what we're gonna do, I'm gonna cut away here, gonna come back, gonna play some drums, we're gonna hear how the ML-1 sounds, and then we're gonna get it into Studio One. Okay, now that we're back here in Studio One with that drum recording that we just did with the Slate ML-1, let's pull up some of their mic models and check out what we got going on. So before we do that though, let me just show you. So basically I have up here in brown the Slate ML-1, right? So here's the performance of just what we recorded, completely raw, dry, no EQ, no compression, no nothing. Got a tom fill coming up here, I think, somewhere. Okay, so it sounds like, at least, we have some pretty reliable, pretty consistent pickup, a nice balance, because I was trying to be careful, as I said earlier, how I was playing, right? To make sure that we had a fairly balanced performance and we didn't have the cymbals overtaking the microphone and all that. So that's what we started with. And then the rest of the track here, we'll get to the backing track in a minute, which is all the rest of the multi-tracks for the song Dime. So let's pull up the Slate stuff here. So I have the three sets of modeled microphones that I own. I don't have the Blackbird Studio Pack. When it goes on sale, I might pick that up, but we got plenty of microphones here. Right now, they're all shut off. The only thing I've added here was the Neve 10 FG73. It's so unbelievably subtle, it really doesn't matter compared to a real hardware 1073, which I've owned in the past. This doesn't sound anything like that to me, but hey, it's a little bit of extra color there. They also have a couple other preamps, but anyway. So the first set of microphones I have the classic tube mics, which came with my package when I bought this Slate ML-1. So there's a whole bunch of microphones here. Some of them are locked. Pardon me, I don't have all of the microphones that they have, but we have enough here to start with. So let's start with like the FG47. So here's the FG47. I got the intensity kind of in the middle here. So that's the FG47. Wow, without it. So I guess that's going to be like a U47. I own a U47. I don't know what it sounds like, but let's cycle through some of the mics and let's just see, before we add any EQ or anything like that, let's just see what they sound like. So here's the FG47. Let's cycle through them. Oh, wow. I love that FG800. Listen to the kick and snare. I mean, again, there's no EQ on this at all, but this really gives a nice kick sound. Let's just loop through here. So I got... I mean, that sounds great. $251. Wow. So that FG800M. So this is the FG800, and then they have an 800M. I don't know what the differences are. I really ought to research that. I've never played with this before. This is my first experience using the Slate mic modeling. I've always been interested in it, and this is great. Now, the other thing we're going to do too in a future video, I also have, this is the Slate ML-1, the large diaphragm condenser, but I also have 6 of the ML-2s, the small condenser mics, to mic up the entire kit, which is going to be really interesting. So the difference between the 800M and the 800 are probably there's probably some modification made to it. I don't know, but that sounds great on this one microphone. Let's compare that to the 800. Oop. So it changed the tonality of the snare. I like that though. Let's go back to the M. And there's a 269. Like I said, I don't have these other ones here. I don't even know if it'll let me use it, will it? No. Okay. I really dig that 800M. Okay, so that's this set of microphones. And it'll be, so again, we're just trying to get an overall sound of the entire kit with this one mic. Okay, let's shut that off. Now, here's also here's the U87 Classics. And this is another one. There's three of them here. This is three versions of the Neumann U87. And again, this came free when I bought the ML1 during that Black Friday sale. So I got this, which I think is probably a $100 package plus $300 off the microphone. So I got about $800 or $900 worth of stuff for like $400, $500, which is great. So let's try the 87i. Let's see what this sounds like. Oh, wow. Okay, so three different voicings of it. Again, I don't know if I like this. I'm trying to take a picture of the whole kit. Let's try the intensity slider. Let's see what that does. Right now, it's right up the middle. You hear it in the snare. Listen to the snare. You'll hear a little bit better what this intensity is kind of doing. I'll start down at 100 and go to 150. It's subtle, but it's cool. It's a nice low end. But it gives kind of a mid-range mask where I really love that FG800. I believe that's a Sony microphone. Anyway, then I also have the Classic Instruments package, which will probably be better used for when we do the entire drum kit with the ML1 as maybe the room mic and then all of the ML2s. So we could, use 57s and mic up all the individual drums. But here, let's cycle through these. We got a ton of these. These are just great. Here's a 57. That doesn't sound too bad, the 421. 421 doesn't sound too bad. So got some ribbon mics here. There's a lot of microphones here, man. This is really cool. Really cool. So for this one microphone and this one musical example, these are probably not what I would use. I would probably lean more again towards this FG800 is fantastic. The 800M I kind of like. So let's get rid of these for now. Those are really cool. We'll look at those in other videos. So again, with that 800M, without it. Okay, let's stick with that microphone. Now let's add a little bit. Again, we have no EQ on this thing at all. So let's put a little EQ on this and let's see what we can do maybe to you know, dress this up just a little bit. We can go with, I don't know, I want to go with the, we're using a Neve preamp. Why not use a Neve EQ? All right, let's see what we can do. Let's see if we can get a little bit of low end happening here. Oh, you can also drive this with the preamp as well. I guess you could do that. We'll keep that off for now. But here's without the EQ. So I put a little bit at 60, took a little bit out at 450, added a little bit at 5K and a little bit here. I think this is a 12K shelf. From this, now let's put this in the context of the rest of the song here, and let's just see what we got. I just turned down the click track. Let's just see how it kind of sits inside of the track here. Put a little bit of compression on this as well. And again, just trying to, pardon me, just trying to whip it together pretty quick just to see what some of the possibilities are. Oh, what about like the distressor? Yeah, all right. Why not? Do you have anything for like just quick preset here for drums? Drum bus, drum room. Heavy guitars. Yeah, let's just go drum room big. Let's just see what that does. A little too much here. Interesting. I mean, for one microphone, it fits in the track pretty well. I mean, obviously, we're limited on the control that we can use because we're only using the one microphone. But if you listen to that, you know, and again, with some more tweaking on the EQ compression and maybe, you know, I like this particular mic model, but even mess around with the mic model, you can get something that's really passable, really, really passable. Certainly, it would be a lot better if you had the whole kit mic'd up, right? With direct mics, overheads, rooms, 6, 8, 10 microphones, we'd have a lot more control and a lot more flexibility. We're going to do that in future videos. But again, for one microphone, I think this sounds great. And I really do enjoy this virtual microphone system, man. This is a pretty cool thing. Now, do they sound exactly like the real microphones? I have no idea. I don't own any of these microphones, but they all sound a little different. They all have different tonal characteristics. And what I like about this is that one microphone, you get a bunch of different sounds you can play with to customize it to your particular track. If you just had a regular, you know, large, say you just had a U87 in the studio, great, one of the greatest microphones ever made. You have that one sound. That's it. You can EQ it. Sure. You can compress it. Sure. But you only have that one flavor. This is pretty nice. So far this is the first time I've ever used it. I think it's pretty cool. I really think it's pretty cool. So, I mean, again, the ML-1 is what, you know, even at full price is $800, and then I think you get the classic tubes with it. And if so for $800, you get yourself whatever. Again, you can go check their website for current pricing and deals. But how many microphones do you get here? You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 microphones. So 9 different flavors with the ML-1. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. And if you wait till the sales, and they do put these on sale every year, like I said, wait till the Black Friday sales at Sweetwater. Again, I'll link everything down below. They may even have deals going on right now. I don't know, depending on when you're watching this video. But you can definitely, you know, pick up, you know, sometimes they give away free packs. Like I got the free U87 Classics pack, came for free. Again, I think it was like an $89 or $100 value. I got it for free with my ML-1. And so, yeah, the only thing I'd like to check out at one point is maybe the Blackbird Studio. I don't have that. And that's kind of a couple of $100, but I think I'll wait till it goes on sale. And if I could get that for $100, my point is you could get a whole bunch of different microphones, right? For, you know, microphone models with something like the ML-1s and the ML-2s, and you can really change up your sound. So that is a quick look here at, listen to the Slate ML-1 recording the kit with just one mic and some of the mic models and some of the things that you can do with it. I think it sounds pretty cool. And I think it's definitely worth checking out if you're in the market for something like that in your home studio. Tons of flexibility. Don't need to have a deep mic locker. You have everything you need in one package. So thanks so much for watching till the end of this video. I know this was a long one. The future ones will be a little bit shorter. So like I said at the beginning, go to homerecordingmadeeasy.com. Get that free mixing course. It's right on the homepage. It's $100. It's my gift to you just for visiting homerecordingmadeeasy.com. And if you take that course and you want to purchase one of my full-length training courses, I want to give you 25% discount. Just use the coupon code YouTube25. That'll take 25% off any one of the training courses on my website. Again, make sure you like, share, subscribe. If you're one of the 70% of people that are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. It helps more than you'll ever know. And stay tuned to the next set of videos where we're going to do more comparisons of different microphones on the drum kit, multiple microphones on the drum kit. So for more drum recording stuff, stay tuned to the channel. And until the next video, I've been Dave with homerecordingmadeeasy.com. Thank you so very much for watching me today, guys, and I'll see you soon.